second part of making a pot. And that involves trimming. This is called a Giffen pot, and it has, change this a little bit, it has greatly reduced the amount of time it takes to make a pot. It fits right on the wheel head, like that. And sometimes when I put it on, it goes on unevenly, so you have to check to make sure it's even. And you can see it if it's uneven. So the pot comes off the bat. This is the bat. And I cut it off, remember the last. So take it off the bat and put it on your Giffen grip. And back in the old days, last year, without this handy-duty little thing, I'd have to get the pot centered upside down and then use little pieces of clay to lock it down. But this nifty tool has these sliding keys that automatically push your pot into the center of the wheel. Now the purpose of trimming, and it locks it down, the purpose of trimming is to make the pot have all the same width in the walls. The walls are all the same width, and this, so when it dries, prevents it from cracking. And it also makes it aesthetically nice and not heavy. The other thing we want to do when we're trimming is to put a foot on it. And a foot allows the pot, I'm looking around, let's see if I have another pot to show you a foot. No. Oh wait, here. A foot gives you something for the pot to sit on. So see how this guy's got I don't know if you can see that. There we go. It's got a little foot, and so it sits up on the foot so that when you put it on the table, it doesn't leave watermarks, or a minimal of watermark, and can keep this from scratching the table because you've got less surface area for it to be on the table. So these are the tools I use for trimming. And they're basically sharp metal loops of clay. And what I'm going to do is just scrape off the clay. And I do this when the clay is what's called leather hard. So see how it comes off in nice little ribbons? And you can also reshape your pot a little bit when you're trimming. And this is sort of the same tool but in smaller. I don't have my glasses on, correct. I don't have my glasses. Alright, so then I'm going to make a little foot by going down. Creating that raised little foot, and then I just carve out the inside. And I let my clay scatter all over the place as I'm trimming, and then I come by and I clean it all up at the end of the day, and I've got what's called a recycle bin. So whenever I make anything that's handmade, not made on the wheel, it's made from recycled clay. And I use all my new clay straight out of the bag for throwing. And the reason for that is that if it has air bubbles or impurities in it from having been on the floor, when you're throwing, it's harder to throw with. So I save the good clay for throwing and use my recycled clay for hand-built stuff. And let's see, I don't like this edge, so I'm going to take a little more off that. There you have a pot. Now, when you make a pot, the throwing and the trimming are the two easiest parts of making a pot. That's the inside. Remember I made the little edges on the outside there. The hard part is the glazing and the decorating. So now that I've made this pot, I'll probably set it aside and think about how I'm going to glaze it. Because if I jump into glazing it, I'm more than likely to just do a sloppy job. So I've learned in the last year I got to take time when I'm glazing. So there's your basic bowl.